welcome to our homes. I'm Rabbi Leah Citrin. I'm an associate rabbi at Temple Beth Or in Raleigh, North Carolina.
And I'm Dusty Klass. I'm associate rabbi at Temple Beth El in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Some of you might recognize our names regardless of which congregation you are a part of, because we have had a long-standing partnership where each high holiday season we have written together and delivered the same sermon at our respective congregations.
So I imagine that many of you in the last 4 months, 5 months at this point, really, have been building all sorts of new things in your own home. And today we'll talk a little bit about what it means to create a home sanctuary. In Hebrew, we like to think of that as a mikdash me'at. The rabbis have been thinking about this for thousands and thousands of years. So when we talk about a mikdash me'at, we're taking the concept of the mikdash, right, the holy temple in Jerusalem, which was destroyed in 70 CE. And the rabbis of that time recreated the concept of mikdash in people's individual homes. So we're not actually particularly innovative. This has been happening for thousands of years. We're just doing that innovation in new and creative ways a little bit.
So one of the things that makes a sanctuary sacred or special is that it's set apart. And so I've decided that the space I'm going to use is my dining room. So I'm going to bring you with me as I head there so that we think about the actual physical space that is created. Okay. So one of the things that helps us to create that sanctuary are the unique items that help us to know what we are celebrating, what we are ushering in. And for me, that definitely includes some ritual objects. So I have here in my mikdash me'at a shofar, which you will hear throughout the month of Elul. I have my talit, or my prayer shawl, that will help me get ready to pray as I put it on. I have candles and a kiddush cup to be able to welcome the holiday with the blessing. And then I have some water because praying and singing makes me thirsty. And there are 3 other things on this table that have a little bit of a different meaning. So first, this beautiful platter that my mother insisted that I take from her house. Now, it has the Hebrew word for honey, dvash, on it. As you can see, it looks like apples. It has one specific use, and that is for the high holidays. So by taking that out and putting it into my vision or my sight line, I'm reminded to make this time and this space separate. Another thing that I have here is a bracelet. You might recognize it if you're at Temple Beth Or and were there for high holidays last year. I gave a sermon about setting kavanah, intention, and doing acts of kindness. So for me, creating a sanctuary means setting the right intention, and this is a visual reminder that will help me to do that.
And a lot of what I have is very similar. We've got the candles and the kiddush cup. I have a challah that I've eaten half of, so it kind of looks round. I have my shofar as well, my Zaidi shofar that I inherited. I've got some actual apples and honey. I was not blessed with the same beautiful dish that Rabbi Citrin was. And then the extra pieces that I have are this additional candle. I have this candle in particular with me because one of the things I've been thinking about in terms of symbolic things that are in a sanctuary is the Ner Tamid, the eternal light. And so one of the ways that I'm going to set my intention as in services this year, each time I am in a space for prayer, is to light, in addition to the holiday candles, which we do at night, but we don't usually do during the morning. I'm going to light this candle to give myself a moment to really arrive in the space. And I really, really would like to keep Yom Kippur this year and to fast. I often do, and it's usually easy for me because I'm not in my house, so I don't have access to my kitchen. But this year, it is likely that I will be spending some time in my own house for the holiday. So I'm going to wrap my entire refrigerator in caution tape. And I may have some extra left over. So if anyone needs any caution tape, just let me know. The last thing that I'll share is that I have a couple of books with me that I've been using to kind of meditate on the holiday. The first is This Is Real and You're Completely Unprepared. Rabbi Citrin has as well. This is the full book title by Rabbi Alan Liu, walks you through the holiday. And then I also have been using this book, Einstein and the Rabbi, Searching for the Soul. It has some beautiful meditations in it that I've been really enjoying. I'm moving now to another area of my home to talk a little about the community piece of this. And Rabbi Citrin, I feel like I'm remembering you had a particular thing you've been thinking about transforming a little bit for this time.
Indeed. So, I mean, we can have all of the ritual pieces, we can have all of the caution tape, we can have all of the things to help us. But one of the things that we really truly will have to search for differently this year is that community. We're used to gathering with hundreds, if not more than that, in order to pray together in community. And this year, community needs to feel different. And so, one of the ways in which I intend to bring community into me is through hangings on our wall. We have an area where we keep cards and holiday messages and pictures, and I'm going to transform that into pictures of my family and friends who I might normally be with for these holidays but cannot physically be with this year. Well, one of the other things that always made me think of high holidays growing up was how frigidly cold the sanctuary was. And I was thinking that one of the ways I might create an atmosphere that reminds me of what the high holidays are is to alter the temperature of my house, literally. So perhaps if you are quite cold when you come to pray for the high holidays, you might consider lowering the temperature in your house. Or if you are always super hot, then maybe it goes up a little bit.
So I really like to pray in community with people and with other beings around, let's say. And so I've been brainstorming ways to feel like I wasn't alone this holiday season. So I gathered some of my friends to with me. And here they are. These are my friends. They've moved around a little bit, but I've had this monkey since I was 12. And you'll all recognize Cecil, Temple Bethel congregants. Cecil is very, very excited for the holiday season. And the last thing I'll say is that I think we often experience the holidays with particular people we see every year at this time, the people that we always talk about the sermon with after the services or check in on. And so I know that everyone is incredibly, incredibly focused during services and always paying very, very close attention to everything that's happening. But were you to once in a great while want to process something, reflect on something that's happening in the service, you can always create a text chain with a couple of friends that you're used to sitting next to and join together that way as you are participating in services from wherever you are in the world this year. As a final piece, I want to show you a couple of phrases from Jewish text. And these words are above our ark in our sanctuary. Achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh. And Rabbi Citrin remind us of the second half of the phrase, which is
Va'anochi lo yadati.
And what does that whole phrase mean, Rabbi Citrin?
It means, aha, there's God in this place and I did not know it.
Exactly. And in our homes, which we often think of as the place we come home to after we do our holy stuff, right? What a beautiful thing to give ourselves the opportunity to find holiness, to create holiness in our own homes as well. And that leads us to the last phrase, which is Ve'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham. And these words mean, make for me a sanctuary that I may dwell amongst you. And these are the words that God speaks to the Israelites when instructing them to build the tabernacle, their first mikdash in the wilderness, as they are preparing to enter the land of Israel. And that's what we're doing, each of us in our own ways. We are building our own mikdash and we are inviting God to shahanti b'tocham, to dwell amongst us. And so we thought we'd close this little video today by offering words. You're welcome to sing along.
Asuli mikdash v'shochanti b'tocham va'anachnu nivarech ya me'ata ve'ad olam. O Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Shana Tova.